less. And then we're going live right now.
Savvi Life, not Savvi Life Team, Savvi Life.
Savvi Life tonight. I'm going to mute everybody right now, so hang tight. Here we go. All right. All right. Oh, I just saw our guest speaker tonight. Oh my gosh. My heart's pounding a little bit because my heart's pounding. You want to go ahead and kick this off. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about how to grow your vision. And we brought on a big visionary that sold Kim and I a vision over an entire weekend of why Savvi is going to be a company that makes a difference in people's life. Why Savvi is going to change lives. Why Savvi is going to change your life. And he shared that vision with us well over 7 months ago now. And it's coming to fruition. And, a lot of people share vision that don't go anywhere, but this vision is growing and it's creating a wildfire. And I know a lot of you, like Amber Reed, and so many of you are grabbing onto that vision already, and you're winning for your team, you're winning for your family. And it's just so exciting to see. And I know a lot of you out there, you're like, okay, I'm ready. This is my month. Today is July 1st, if you're watching this live with us. And today is the day to grow your vision, to expand your vision. And we're going to bring on the founder of the company right now. And Kim's going to just share a little bit of his background, and then we're going to bring him on because I know his time is very limited. He's got back-to-back Zooms, so we're going to bring him up. But I want Kim to share real quick a little bit more about the founder of Savvi.
It's such an honor to have him with us. Yes, probably one of the busiest people we know right now, building a legacy company for us all. And I just want to share really quick. If this is your first exposure to Ken Porter, I want you to know he is the absolute heartbeat of Savvi. I was so fortunate that God aligned us a year prior to even knowing about Savvi. I ended up in a meeting with him. I walked away from that meeting, not thinking anything about that meeting, just thinking, oh my gosh, that Ken Porter guy was amazing. He's such a great guy. Fast forward a year later, and I got a phone call that he was starting a company named Savvi. We immediately hopped in our car, drove 9 miles so we could look at him in the eyes and find out his vision for this company. And we left all in 100% because what it was this man and his integrity, his heart, his love for people, his purpose, his passion to do something big. And we latched onto that because we all can resonate with that kind of a purpose and a passion. And so it is such an honor to have him at the head of this company, building something. I believe it's going to be the best company in our industry. I believe that with my whole heart. And we're going to get out of the way and bring up this incredible.
Hang on. One more quickie. That was amazing. But I also want you guys to know something, okay? He's like, I know he doesn't like this part. He's like, come on, get to the. But I want you guys to know of our industry, when it comes to vision, he is not a 1%er, just so y'all know. I mean, 1%ers make pretty good incomes. He's a 1%er of a 1%er of a 1%er that's consistently done it now for over 30 years. And Kim and I are ready at our age in life and our time in this industry. We want to latch on to people who are legacy thinkers, legacy builders, that not only knows how to build teams and leadership development, but also knows how to run brick and mortar investments, brick and mortar businesses. And that's really important when you want to put your future and align yourself with that. So we're pumped to bring up Mr. Ken Porter. Thanks so much, Ken, for hopping on today with us.
I'm choking over all that stuff you said, you guys. That was amazing. I want to watch this. I'm going to cut that snippet out and send it to my kids because they know better. I'm just dad. That's all. I'm just dad. And actually, truth is, that's the role I see myself in the most is a dad. And raising a family and raising a company there are a lot of similarities, right? You just get up every day and you move the ball forward, and pretty soon you got something great.
Yeah.
I got to get a drink, you guys. Hold on.
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. So one of the things I want you guys to write down, there's a lot of goals and visions you can have, but one vision I'd like you to write down is, if you knew it would happen, what would be your biggest income you could ever conceive? I want you to write that down. And then it's Ken's job tonight just to kind of share, as you think about that vision, is that at the end of the call, is that really where you want to be, or is it stretched maybe a little bit? All right, Ken.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I started the business, you know, it's funny how things change. When I started in the business, I was here for one reason. And that's because my family had a little financial pain. And, you know, it was me that was chasing the income. My wife was raising children. And I'll tell you, paying the mortgage every month was a challenge for me. It was hard. I never knew it that, you know, I had a job, but, you know, I always had more. I always wanted more than what I had, right? That's part of the problem. Everybody says there's two ways to become wealthy. One is just to live, to be content on whatever you've got. Now, my mom was wealthy and she lived on Social Security the last 10 years of her life. But she, on her Social Security, she saved 20 or 25% every month because she just didn't spend a nickel. And I was never like that. I always wanted to have sufficient income that I didn't have to look at the prices, that I didn't have to completely alter my lifestyle to do that. And then I've had one expensive hobby my whole life, and that's to travel. And ultimately, that was really my driving thing for this business because, you know, I wanted to see 100 countries. You know, I've always had that. That's like number one on my bucket list. I just wanted to see the world. And I'm saying, okay, see the world and not being able to pay your mortgage are kind of like, they don't really coexist, right? So if you want to do something big, you had to. So I joined this business because someone promised me that if I would do it, that, well, this is back in the day, don't do this, but this gentleman promised me if I do a certain amount of work, he promised me that I would have an income that would last likely the rest of my life. And so I didn't want to do the work. I was terrified of the work, but I really did want the income, right? I wanted it so desperately bad that I says, look, I'll do the work. I don't care what it is, as long as you'll promise me the income. He says, if you'll do the work, you'll get the income. And so I just did the work. And it was different. Savvi's amazing because for me, I was working in my 6th month. I was working full time, you know, 60, 70 hours a week to make this happen. In my 6th month, I think I made like $600 and that's it. And I was working full time. And so it didn't feel like an opportunity for me. But, you know, on my 12th month, you know, on my first week of the 12th month, I got a really nice check. And it was actually, I grew more from that because I had to work when I couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? What I found is my real growth came when I just trusted him and I worked my guts out when there was no evidence that I was succeeding. In fact, it always looked like I was failing. All the rejection I got and the people that questioned my sanity and, you know, that tried to correct me and push me in a better direction. And all those that were like praying for me because I was such a lost soul doing this direct selling thing, you know, and I trusted this man. And I says, I'm going to give this a year of hard work and see if what he says is true. And if it can change my life after a year. So I worked hard. And after a year, it changed my life and it changed my kids' life, my grandkids' lives. What I did is I found something that created leverage in my life for the first time because I had always worked hard, but I didn't understand the concept of leverage. So I really just worked hard trading my time for money, right? And I found that I got more money for my time, but I still had to trade my time. And so what I came to find out is that how do I ever gain my financial freedom, which was what I wanted more than anything in my life at that time. Is I wanted freedom. I am a freedom lover. And so how do I get that? As if I have to invest my time, I have to spend my time to get my money. So essentially what I learned is that virtually all wealth comes from creating leverage in your life. There's only really a couple ways to create leverage. And one of those ways to create leverage is to earn enough money to invest it, right? You invest it somewhere, and if that company grows, then you get a return on your money. What I knew less about was how to spend your time in such a way that it can actually create leverage. And this industry and this business is the most beautiful way I know to do that because it works for someone like me. I had no extra money. I had no special skills. All I had is my time and a commitment to go big. And so I went to work and did it. But I'll tell you what's been beautiful in this business for me. Over the years, I've watched people do that big and I've watched them do it little, and it blessed their lives. I've seen people says, look, I just want an extra $200 or $300 a month. And it works to build an extra $200 or $300 a month. And I've seen people say, no, I want massive income that changes everything. And it works for that too. The beautiful thing is our industry is not on trial. Our industry does hundreds of billions of dollars in over 100 countries around the world and has been doing it for 50 years. And there's people that don't understand our business that say, is this a pyramid? But 100% of people that say that are people that are still trading their time for money as their only source of income. And I will tell you something, this is a beautiful industry. You can trust it. There's a lot of people that have gone there before you and before me, and it's proven, and requires no luck whatsoever. It's a proven business model that if you get in and apply yourself, and I want to say one other thing. This is the first company I've been involved with you guys, so I want you to understand what you've got. I've been building this business for nearly 30 years, and what I found is that in nearly 30 years, I had to show people products that they didn't naturally know that they wanted. I had to convince them why they needed this expensive bottle of something or this super expensive skincare. What's beautiful about what we're doing now is you don't have to convince anybody. They see what you're wearing and go, oh my gosh, that's cute. I would love to have that. It's just that simple and beautiful. And so this business is the easiest, simplest thing I've ever seen in our industry to build. And so people who maybe haven't had wild success before, they can here. People need to set their vision and just chase, because we're building something. We're just getting started. So anyway, I jumped in the business for that. I stayed in the business because I became passionate about this business changing people's lives. I essentially, what kept me in the business, I long ago met my financial goals in it. But what I have found is my real passion, the thing that keeps me up at night, is over time you go, gosh, there's hundreds of and thousands of people whose lives have changed, that were suffering before they found this business. And they found this business, and all of a sudden those things, I got a little nicer house. I've got a little nice, my boys in soccer. In some of the third world countries I've traveled to, I've been in 75 countries around the world building this business. There was days I spent 200 nights a year in a hotel. And when you start finding people that, single moms, that their children don't go to school and don't get an education, and the next generation of them is going to be just as impoverished as their parents were, and there's no way forward. And then you sit down and you show them a simple vehicle that when applied, all of a sudden their kids are in school. All of a sudden they have a phone, and then they've got some transportation, and then they have knowledge about how to even go forward from there. And you watch something so simple as this change generations of people. And then you realize how tender that is and how much you love people. And you realize you can never leave this business. And so I'm in this business till I die. I want you all to know that, right? I'm here till I die. I love this business. I love what we do for people's lives. I'm passionate about it. This business is how I serve people. It's what makes it so when I lay my head on my pillow at night, I lay down and go, I served a lot of people today. I feel really good. People are better because I worked today. And to me, that's a beautiful thing.
That's so good, Ken. Wow, you should see the comments. We're going to record all these comments. You won't believe it. From all the leaders. Amber, it's changing my life. Lifer, Angela Ward, it's changed my life in 3 months. Hey, all of you that are in Zoom right now, there's over 120 of you in Zoom. What I'd like you to do is this, we are also streaming in Savvi Life. If you have people that need to hear the vision, prospects, people that are looking at this business maybe for the first time, tag them in here right now. If you're someone looking at the business and you want to tag someone, go ahead and tag them in. And I would make your comments as much as possible in the Facebook group. So your comments will stay there for a long time, because there's so many that I'd love Ken to go back and read. Ken, can you do something for Kim and I and everybody here? I know this may not be the most comfortable thing to do, but can you just give us a glimpse of what true ridiculous, like financial freedom really feels like and tastes like? How much harder we should be working to have, because we got to taste it, with your family out there in Lake Powell, and just to see the big, I know you don't like to talk about the flash, but can you just talk about the freedom part of it or whatever else you want to share?
I'm not really a flash guy, you know? So, I mean, what I've learned about this business is, like, say, my initial motivations are much different than my motivation today. My initial motivation, you know, Maslow's theory of hierarchy, right? When you can't breathe, oxygen is the most important thing in your life, right? And when I felt financially starved, fixing that problem was the number one thing in my life. But what I quickly realized is when the pain and the urgency of not having income was resolved, then other things quickly replaced that as more important in my life. Do you know what I'm saying? And so for me, money's not really my primary motivator. It's not something I think about. But sometimes I even realize that's the case. I sit back and count my many blessings when I realize that, you know, it's been so long since I've sat down and says, well, I don't, you know, I hear people, gosh, I even watch my kids because my kids are poor, right? Because I make them work for a living. I don't want to give them money. I want them to have experience and grow. That's more valuable than money. The personal growth and the development, who you become as a person, is way more important than money. So none of my wealth is in my bank account, just so you know that. All of my wealth is in my relationships and my family. But every once in a while, I do sit down and look backwards and go, gee, you know what? I don't know the price of anything. I really don't know. I mean, if we played that Price is Right game, I would so lose because I don't look at prices. You know, if I need something, I buy it, you know. It's when that part's out of your mindset because you don't need to do that, you find that that's a freedom in and of itself. And again, for me, freedom was what I wanted. And everybody's motivated by different things. Some people are motivated by big money, you know. And what's funny is, even though, yes, I've made some, you know, relatively okay money in my lifetime, I actually personally found I stopped being motivated by money a long, long time ago. And so you'll probably not find me talking about money on my calls.
Okay.
I think it's a great blessing. I think I want everybody to have sufficient for your needs. And I want you to be able to, I want everyone to make enough money that you don't have to think about money anymore.
That's good.
Because the greatest joy you're going to have in your life, because at the end of the day, I found people are all the same. In the end, we want happiness and joy, right? Those are the deepest human emotions that we all want: peace, happiness, joy. And those are emotions that are even higher than money. So as soon as we can get your money problem solved,
yeah,
so that you can refocus your energies on something far more important than money, the better. And that's why I love our business, because it's one of the best businesses that I know of to help an average person like me generate cash flow outside of the time that I have to trade for it or the skills that I have. To generate cash flow that's leveraged cash flow is amazing. I mean, to put that in perspective, I always loved this business when I was working my guts out. I loved the income I was earning. But the minute I says, hey, you know what? I've been working on this for a number of years. I'm just going to stop and I'm going to travel with my kids. I'm going to take my kids and we're going to go see the world and do all kinds of things. And when I did that, and I realized that every week there was direct deposits in my bank account that was far more than we needed to travel the world, at that moment is when I really understood residual income, because I was no longer working and it was still there. And then when I realized, gosh, the first company I built, you know, it's been 20 years since I've worked and the income is still direct deposit in my account, 20 years, and it's grown. That's when I understood the power of residual income. And so, yes, I love residual income, but what I love more than anything else is freedom. And so that's my driving motivator. Yes, you can make whatever you want in this business, large or small. Some people's life change with $500 a month. And if that's the thing that, you know, I mean, you think about a couple $100 a month and you can get some really cute clothes. And sometimes that's as big as people's motivation is. And so I love this business because this business has all the potential to meet you wherever your goals and dreams are at.
That is so good. Hey, Ken, if you're listening to this right now, we would love, maybe, I know Ken and even some of the other founders and investors go back and look at this. Go on Facebook right now, open up another window and tell us what your dream is when Savvi, what can Savvi help you with your future? Okay, we want to hear that right now. Ken, here's the big question. I know Kim and I have made a lot of our money in nutritional and wellness type products and financial products over the years. And so have you. You've made a lot more than Kim and I by far. Why in the world, though, with all your experience, why in the world would it be athletic clothing and yoga pants and leggings and a woman's movement? So there's two questions in there. Why athletic clothing, and why this amazing woman's movement?
Tom, that's the best question of all, because let me tell you why. You guys, I know something about me, and I don't quit, right? I like a challenge. I can get in there and do battle all day long. And for nearly 30 years, I've pushed a great big ball uphill. Everything I've done in wellness and nutrition, you think about a wellness product, I have to go to someone, they're obviously not using my product, and I have to convince them that this product, because most wellness products, let's face it, you don't drink something or eat a pill and instantly feel good and notice the difference. Most wellness routines are about long-term health and about maybe living longer and living better, but they're not about eating a pill and waking up in the morning going, wow, I'm amazing. And so I had to sell people, give me your money today for some potential benefit way down the road. That most people don't think like that. Most people think about, if I exchange money today, I want to feel good right now. And almost every direct selling company, I don't care, it's weight loss or skincare or nutritional products, or 85% of nutritional MLM companies are in those spaces. And so what it does, it leaves me to try and convince someone that they should do something that they're not doing right now, and to spend money that before I stepped in their lives, they didn't think it was worth spending the money. And so I'm convincing everyone. It required me to change minds everywhere I went. Imagine 30 years of working hard to change people's minds. Now enter what we do, Savvi. They get the clothes. I don't even have to talk to them about building a big business. Get the clothes, and immediately they're running out of the box. They're taking their camera, they're opening the box, they're taking pictures in the box. They're excited when it shows up. Many of them are looking and says, okay, which day is it going to? I never had anyone ever with nutritional products count the days before their next shipment. I never had anyone go open the box and show me the bottles of pills in that box. And so people are opening their box, they're excited, they disappear, and they show back up, and they're wearing the clothes because they're so excited. And then they're doing selfies. Look at me in these clothes. They just become a human billboard. It's not about, and then you watch almost what everybody posts this. It's amazing. You know what they say? It's one of two things. It's, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. In all of the years of nutritional wellness products, I never had somebody within 15 seconds go, I feel amazing. And then they go, I feel cute. I look cute. And a lot of people say, wow, I've got these clothes on. I think I'm going to go to the gym. So turns out our clothes are the best weight loss program on the market. And we don't market any of that. They're the best wellness product on the market. And I don't market any of that. And when you feel better about yourself, you take action. So what happens is super simple. I wear the clothes. Well, actually, I don't wear the clothes. I asked Kim to wear the clothes. But you guys wear the clothes, you take pictures, people see you. I watch people, some of them have been overweight for a long time. They put the clothes on. It's kind of a daring move to do it. And universally, when they post pictures of them on the clothes, read the comments. They're always validating. You look great. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, where did you get that? I want some. And so what you find is the real secret of Savvi and the secret of our business is that you don't have to. I was talking to someone a minute ago before this call. In all the other direct selling companies I've ever been a part of, before you can have success, you have to go through tons of personal development. You have to learn how to face rejection. You have to learn how to close and tie people down and get to their key objectives. There's seriously a long time of learning before you're really effective at hardcore selling in most direct selling businesses. In Savvi, you don't have to do that. You skip all that stuff, because what happens in my other companies, I used to tell people, okay, build a list of 50 people you know. And guess what? You call them back the next day and they're gone, because why? They're terrified of talking to those 50 people they know. So they never go the next step. They're done before they start. In this company, I don't even have to tell them to do that. I say, buy the clothes and go post it. And they post it. And automatically there's feedback comes, says, oh my gosh, you're so cute. Where'd you get that? And so this business is self-validating. It's the first direct selling company that I've seen that has its own internal organic momentum built into the business model. So people have never had success before, you can here. People who don't feel like they're super salespeople, you don't need to be. You know, the clothing and the business model is natural to how people already live their lives. And because of that, you may think that's small, but remember I started earlier about talking about, you know, leverage. Leverage is really about the very simplest things. I know some people want to focus on let me show you how the comp plan works at the very top. But let me tell you how you know you've got something that can become a global brand. And that's this. When the simplest steps are easy enough that average people can naturally do it without a lot of training and without a lot of skills training and without a lot of external motivation. If the simplest things, like I love the clothes, they're cute, I put them on. And if the process of sharing that is natural and easy, oh my goodness, then you have something that compounds in a way that no company ever been a part of compounded. And so it just so happens the same features that make a company grow big are the same features that can help your business grow big. So
good.
So good,
yeah,
Ken.
amazing.
So good. Okay, Ken. So
By the way, we have a lot. We have a bunch of questions, and it'd be great if we could maybe get to a couple in the group. But go ahead, beautiful.
yeah,
You got a great question.
Fire away.
So
It's so good.
we get started in Savvi. We're really excited, right? We see how fun and simple it can be, and we get going with our business, and especially in pre-launch, you could feel like you're on the front lines a little bit, right? Especially in pre-launch, with maybe there's a tech glitch one day, or low inventory another day. So
Sports backed up
so
maybe
much
or something.
support. So much right now is really vision, right? And grasping onto the vision. So give us a glimpse of the vision in Ken Porter's head of where we're headed.
I love this because it really is about vision. I always tell the story. I live in Salt Lake, and Salt Lake, Utah was founded by pioneers, right? And when those pioneers walked across the desert and they landed in Salt Lake City, what happened with those first pioneers, it was all sagebrush, right? There was no trees, it was all sagebrush. But guess what? Those pioneers got to like homestead like 1,000 acres for like 2 bags of flour, right? The land was cheap. By the time Salt Lake got discovered, 30 years later, when everybody starts going, wow, it's a beautiful valley and there's beautiful mountains and it's a beautiful community. Well, now it's like, now it's like 80 or 100 or $200,000 an acre. And so that I say that because that's really is true. Pioneering is all about seeing what others can't see yet. That's really the stage where we're at. And I will tell you, the great rewards, the land grabs, go to those that can see the future today. And so we're in a pioneering stage. Let me paint the picture where we'll be at in a year or two. You'll go to convention because COVID-19 won't be here. We'll go to convention. There'll be tens of thousands of people. Everyone see the vision. Everybody's jumping up and down and yelling and validating. And it's obvious to everybody that, wow, look how big the company is, how massive they are. And it's crazy as it sounds. Most people need other people to say, you're making a good decision. And so a lot of people can't really join something where they're by themselves, where they're early on. They have to wait until there's 10,000 people going, oh, you're smart, I'm smart, we're smart. And that's a wonderful time, but the property's $2,000 an acre by then, right? And at an early stage of the company, yes, we'll have tens of thousands of people in conventions. We'll eventually be in 50, 60, 70, 80 countries. We'll have things dialed in so much. Our tech will be perfect. Our weekly releases, they're kind of fun now, but boy, I see that we could do incredible productions. There's so many things that we're going, but like I say, Rome was not built in a day. And great companies aren't built in a day. They're built brick by brick by brick by brick, and they're built by bricklayers who have a vision of where we're going. And so the bricklayers aren't just in the company, they're in the field. And every brick you lay, you just sign your name. It's got my name. And you lay that brick, another brick, and you sign it. Before you know it, you got the big building and go, oh my gosh, look at the building I built. It's got all my bricks in it. It's got my name on the building. It's a legacy for you and your family. And the spoils go to the bricklayers. And so essentially, I just want everyone to know my favorite time in any company is the early stage, because I like messy, because I know everything I've ever built, all the true wealth in my company has come because you really look at almost all wealth in every company comes from those people that take something when it's small and build it to when it's big, right? They build it from messy, they build it to messy to big. But there's just something about most people, they're followers, and they only can jump in when everything is clearly laid out in front of their eyes. So the thing that I ask everyone to do is say, you know what, do a favor to your kids and grandkids and be able to stand up and tell them I had vision before it was obvious. You know, where there's no vision, the people perish. And be a visionary, see past the problems. I mean, you won't believe how many people, you know, they're super excited and then they get something in the mail and whatever they got was the wrong size or it was the wrong color. And they're just so upset by that that's the last we ever see them again. And that pattern will repeat itself throughout their whole lives 100 times. And when they're 75, they'll be just as bad off as when they were 25. So I want you to have vision, because in the end, that's the only thing that carried people forward in an opportunity that was generation changing. So we're early on. I am so proud because every single day I look and say, man, there are a ton of people who can see it. They can taste it. They can smell it before it's obvious. And to me, that's a leader. That's
so good. Everybody says they're with you, Ken. Amy White says massive vision, and she's doing it with one of the biggest teams in the company right now. And so many, so I just see the feed going crazy. Great job tagging everybody. Tagging is duplication.
Yep.
Ken, 2 ways that we've learned from you to create wealth is be ahead of a trend, right? In pre-launch. And then you talked about going international, which Kim and I have we've never really built big international. You're building this company with the international in mind first, obviously starting in the US. Can you talk about how fun it can be for our financial bank account, but also the fun of building international?
So, you know, when I first started building international, it was fun because I was in a small town. There was 700 people that lived in that town. There was nobody around me. And so I think, everybody around me were farmers. And I'm like, okay, I live in a rural town. And how do I build a global enterprise from a rural town, right? We didn't have Facebook, but we did have a telephone. And so I'd sit down, I started talking to my friends and my neighbors and the people that knew me. And then I just work with them to get and before you know it, you got a team of 7, and then you got a team of 17, and then 27, right? Time goes on, then you got 77, and you got 77, you go, wow, I realized 2 of these live in Los Angeles and one's in Denver and one of them's in Kentucky. And wow, is that one from Canada? Where's Ottawa? I've never heard of Ottawa, you know, and pretty soon you grow it. And then the company makes an announcement, says, hey, you know what? We're going to open up this country in 6 months. And so what I simply did, I said, wow, they're going to open up Japan. I don't know anybody in Japan. How do I build Japan? But it's very simple. I just went to my team and I said, hey, they're open Japan 6 months. So everybody go out there and start looking for people that you can develop relationships with that either live in Japan or know somebody that lives in Japan. And so all 77 of us started opening our eyes. And what you found is 6 or 7 or 8 of them found somebody that developed relationships that live in Japan. And so we just started working those relationships, and pretty soon we had a Japanese business. And then so what I loved about it, literally most of my global business, I never traveled to any country before. When I traveled to a country, it's because I had 25 people to talk to throughout my team, right? It wasn't just my people, it was my team's people. And so we'd set up appointments and I'd travel to an international country, I'd sit in a hotel And even some of my team would even cost share. Some of them, everybody'd pitch in like, $200 or whatever. And I'd go over there and I'd meet with all their people. We'd sit down, we'd talk to them. And before you know it, we got teams in these little markets. And before you know it, it's not that hard to build internationally. I'll tell you the hardest thing in this business, and it's not hard. The hardest thing in this business is push yourself forward in the first 90 days and 6 months. When you have to rely on belief before you've got a paycheck, when you got to spend time and energy before you got a paycheck. And I'll tell you, if you've made $100, you can make 200. If you make 500, you can make 1,000. It's really the hardest part in the business, convincing yourself that you can succeed in this business. And as soon as you convince yourself you can succeed, you're going to find people start following you, because here's the secret. Everybody's looking for someone to follow. Everyone has natural doubts. And when someone steps in front of them and says, come here, follow me, I'm going to go do this. I don't know how to do it, but believe me, I'm going to finish it. And I want to do it with you. Come on, let's go. You and me. Now we're a team. And boy, it's a lot more fun in a team. Nobody wants to build it alone, right? And so now you're a team of 2 and then a team of 6. Now you got a team to do this together. And when you got a team, you got strength and you got community and you got unity. And so you build a little team of people that are like-minded, and pretty soon you're growing a global business. But never take your mind off that. Just know what you're building, know the reason why you're here, know what problems you're trying to solve in your life and for the next generation. Yeah. And if you know why you're here and you've got those things, it's not just a passing fancy or a shiny object, but it's something actually written in your heart. It's something that holds you. When you wake up in the morning, your first thought is, oh. And when you go to bed at night, you know what you're going to bed for. When you know what your why is, it's then the vehicle, it's impossible to quit. Because it's not just, oh, I just tried this little yoga thing, right? Or I tried this little cute pants place. Or my friends told me, when that's your mindset, then the first obstacle, you've left yourself an out. And so when I started my companies, that I only built 2 companies, I succeeded wildly in both those, is because the first day I started, it was never about the product. It was about my why, and then helping people get their why. So everyone I enroll, I'll just tell you, for me personally, when I enroll somebody, I know why that person's here. Because when I show them Savvi, I show them Savvi in the context of how Savvi can help them achieve their biggest why. So once someone tells me their why, says, Ken, we're talking, I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't know how to do that, but you know what my dream is? My dream is to take my family on an international vacation every year. I've never done it yet. I've always wanted to. And I'm going, well, how much do you think that would cost? Oh, I don't know, never really, probably $15,000 a year or $20,000 a year. And, I can't even pay the rent. So it's $20,000 a year. Let's think about it. What if I could show you a way that Savvi could help you earn that $20,000 a year? What if we could sit down and create a plan and show you how Savvi could help you generate $20,000 a year? And what if we could figure out how to maybe do that in the first year? Then bam, all of a sudden, so you need to think about this. 1 year, if that's the timeline, what it is, 1 year you generate that income. For the next 20 years, you're taking your family on that international vacation. What would your family's life be like? Or if your children had seen India and they saw poverty. My son was begging me for a new iPod every single year until I took him to India. When he went to India, he came back and says, Dad, by the way, he didn't come home with his iPod. He gave it away. He came home and he never asked for an iPod again. His heart and perspective was changed because he had seen poverty. And for the first time, that travel taught him something he could never learn in church. He never learned it in school, never learned anything else. It changed his perspective and helped him realize that I am incredibly blessed. It helped him see the world from not an entitled standpoint, but from incredibly blessed standpoint. And I will tell you something, that travel changed his heart in a way nothing else I never could. And to this day, that's been nearly 12 years ago.
Oh.
Every one of my kids. So what has that done? So my why wasn't just about travel. It was changing my kids to have a heart and mind that make them successful adults. And I'll tell you, everybody's why. I love that because like they say, you know, the primary occupation is motherhood, and all other occupations are created just to support the primary occupation, mine included. There's nothing we'll do that's more important than having children and grandchildren that are good, happy people. And so all of my whys in this business, all my business whys, truth is, they all revert back to motherhood, you know, about raising the successful next generation. And there's a lot of ways to do that. For me, travel was the way I built that perspective. I didn't take my kids to too many, you know, 5-star resorts and just resort places. I took them to places where they could see the world in a little different light and come back home and go, oh my gosh, I feel so blessed. And then also help them see that they were empowered to create what they want. So see your why, help people see their why. When you can show them how Savvi solves their biggest life goals, bam, you own them. And you own them for a long, long time. And so I say own them. I say own them, but I really mean that in a way that you can serve them.
Yeah, it's so good.
So
Ken.
good.
But it's hard to switch gears from anything like that.
is.
Hey, we might maybe 10 more minutes or max or so.
We're gonna open just
Wait,
ask
maybe
a couple questions.
we're gonna maybe take 1 or 2 quick questions, and we're gonna do it on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, please drop it in there first, because that's what we're looking at the feed right now. You can't tell. This has been the busiest call we've had in 6 months, Ken. So thank you for being here for us and blessing us.
Thank you.
Everything you just shared right now is touching. The comments are just, they're so touching and truly,
Oh, that's awesome.
it's truly
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So maybe 2 or 3 quick questions. One that we saw come through, Ken, was, can you share a little bit of a vision of the product? You know, will we have a men's line? Will we have different age groups? What can we expect for the product
And
line?
the quantity, you know, the investment that y'all are making right now is pretty substantial.
Oh, it's substantial. You know, here's the tricky thing about our business. You know, the supply chain is long. So to get clothing here, it takes 3 to 4 months. So right now you think, okay, we just started July. So July, August, September, October, we're placing orders today for November. And in order to place orders for November, we have to go, okay, how big do we think we're going to be in November? And so, you know, we are spending millions and millions of dollars in forecasting significant growth for November and December and every month thereafter. We're spending a fortune on product. And, you know, there's a lot of things we do internally. We're dialing it in. I don't know, for those of you who've been here for 4 or 5 months, you've had to notice that the quality of clothes have gone way up.
Yeah.
The consistency is going way up. We still have more. We're still in pre-launch, and we're with our clothes. We'll have it so dialed in so the experience is consistent every single time, so that, you know, when you hear Savvi, you know it's something that you can be proud of, that you'll wear it, you know, with pride, that you'll put it on and go, oh my gosh, it makes me feel so good about myself. So product, the beautiful thing, you notice the company is a lifestyle company. Now, a lot of M&M say a lifestyle company. They say lifestyle because it's kind of indicative of the financial side of, you know, getting some financial freedom in your life to live it the way you want. That's a good lifestyle. Well, of course we have that, but ours is actually a play on that, because we're the lifestyle company, really styling your life the ways you want, that it's beautiful. So our company is positioned so it's not just beautiful fitness clothes. You notice we have an everyday line, a luxe line, and as time goes by, as COVID-19 goes past us, you know, those lines will be expanding. But, you know, we'll have many other things all around styling. I can see someday we have jewelry. I can see when maybe we've got things for the home. There's a lot of ways to style your home. There's just a lot of ways to style your life. And we're not building our brand so we're stuck in a little corner. A lot of companies build their brand so that forevermore they have to be in this little niche. We're about style. If, heaven forbid, if athleisure wear someday kind of reaches its peak and people are wearing like just really loose bell bottoms with flowers on them or whatever, please don't ever come back. But if it does, you know, we've put ourselves in a business position where the one thing that'll never go out is style, whatever that is. And so we're building our brand such that we can be on trend 3 years, 5 years, 20 years in a wide category of products. They're all about styling your life. So I hope you realize that we're investing like crazy. You know, in 6 months from now, you're going to go, oh my gosh, you know, they're perfect. But internally we'll go, oh no, we're not, because we're getting new supply chains and new product lines and different things. So just know whatever your vision is of the company, our vision is big and broad and wide. So you'll always have fun things to sell. Always be looking for the new releases, because that's really a fun part of the way we do this, right? There's always a surprise every week, and it's always something fun and engaging. I've never been a part of a business in this industry at all that has anywhere near the degree of engagement that this business has. Every week, all of your people, they're right there. They're right there. We're online. We're engaged. It's fun. So anyway, it's a fun business. Don't worry about product. We're building it. I love it.
Kim had to sneak away for church, taking the kids to church right now, youth.
Good.
So
awesome.
Maybe you can help all us as leaders, Ken, because this is the question that we get every single day. Okay, we're excited. I've got a friend in Canada. I've got a friend here. When do you think it's appropriate? Like, if you were a builder like us, when would you want to launch those other countries? And would you maximize the US first and then go? What would you do?
Oh yeah, well, here's what I do in my years. I never stop working on relationships. There's a real secret. My dad taught me young, you always want to hunt before you're hungry. So you should always nurture and develop those relationships. And it doesn't hurt to say, oh my gosh, Savvi's killing it. Savvi's killing it. I can't wait till we come to your country. You can plant seeds in their minds, even if it's a year and a half out. Have them begin watching us. Have them watch you, have dialogue. There's places I had dialogue for 3.5 years before we ever opened that marketplace. And so it doesn't hurt to nurture those relationships, because there's no, you know, the company's not really going to disclose until some period before we say, okay, we anticipate 4 months from now or 3 months from now. And so everybody kind of has an equal opportunity. We will be expanding. We're already kind of working on things in the foreign markets, but just know one thing, we're going to operate flawlessly domestically before we jump into another market. That's really why we're in pre-launch, because, you know, we're dialing until our tech is perfect, until we're really proud of everything about our clothes. You know, it's pre-launch. As soon as we can go, guys, you can be proud every time.
Yes.
That time is coming.
It is so good. And remember, all of you, because we have a lot of new people that are looking at this business for the first time, and we'd like to be transparent right now and let you guys know pre-launch means that, you know, you're in that kind of stage where it's not perfect and we're still putting together the tech to be better, and they're spending millions of dollars on the clothing. I think we're in a really good place. We're getting more and more close. So we're excited about that. So thank you, Ken, for that big investment that you and Jen Ashby and the leadership and the investors all made into making this happen for us.
We don't foresee another May or June coming.
Good.
I mean, we have massive amounts of, even just today, we got more clothes in today than we did the whole month of June, pretty much. So
can you repeat that, please, for everybody to hear loud?
Yeah, I mean, just say we've received in the last few days more clothes the last few days than we received virtually the whole entire of June and July of
Wow.
June. So we believe me, we have monster amounts of clothes arriving at our place every single day. The challenge we had there were unavoidable. They were COVID-19.
Yeah.
And you know, we're looking at, the company's looking at it saying, gosh, what if COVID-19 comes back in the winter? And so we're scrambling not for this month and next month. We got plenty of clothes. We're scrambling, says, gosh, what if December and January it comes back? And we're doing everything we can to anticipate that and have massive, massive amounts of clothes coming. So we're doing all we can to anticipate a crazy world that's kind of hard to control. So
Yeah.
and so we're making decisions that we believe that if COVID-19 comes back, will put us in a position we can still continue to grow our business safely. And so just want everybody to know, I mean, every business was struggling from COVID-19, and we're striving to say, okay, we're not going to let that put us in a vulnerable spot again.
So good.
So,
and first off, we thank you. Everybody's just thanking you right now, and just love this call. It's one of our best calls. And Ken, as we're wrapping this up, what is maybe one last thing you want to share from your heart? Just anything you could share to all of us about, why we're supposed to be here, or anything you could share, buddy.
Well, I would say, you guys, the biggest things come from the smallest ideas. And I want you to look at this company. When my very first company, when I told you it was a startup, and I was one of a handful of people there, and people used to always ask me, because when you looked at the company did not look impressive at all. And so people used to ask me, they say, well, how do you know the company's going to make it? And remember, I was new in this industry. I didn't know what I was doing, but my answer was always the same. It says, well, how can they fail? Because they've got me. And I want you to take accountability and responsibility for the company's success and your success. I want you to be that leader that doesn't look for reasons to fail, but I want you to be that leader that can say, look, if everybody did what I did, there's no way in the world the company can fail. And if every one of us corporately take full accountability and responsibility for success of the company, there's none of us that are pointing fingers of blame or looking somewhere else and saying, if something happened, it's didn't there. Every one of us take the full accountability. I even did that as a distributor. And I look backwards to that mindset that says, they can't possibly fail because they've got me. And if everybody does what I'm going to do, they can't fail. And so this is truly a partnership. We're not big yet. We rely on believers. We rely on people that go out there every day and tell people, hey, this is going to be exciting. We're going to be a big company before it's exciting and before we're a big company. And it's that collective group of us acting like leaders, telling people about what the future is going to be. Every leader I know, everything you do, every person you talk to, this is about you standing up and pointing to the future and saying, I know the future and I want to share it with you. And if you believe in it in your heart like that, you'll build an incredible monster business, and you won't be able to blame anyone for your success except for yourself.
Wow. That is so good. Ken, we love you. And I know Kim, every time Kim thinks about you or talks about you, she's crying because how much she's grateful, and how, at first I wasn't on board as much as Kim, but I was like, oh, honey, another startup. And she's like, I'm supposed to do this. And it was a lot of it's because of you. And I'm so glad my wife and you conjugated together to put together this crazy,
Well, what's funny about this thing is everybody looks for visionaries, but my experience with visionaries is your wife is a visionary, and Tom, so are you, because we sat together on a boat before any of this was put together, and we spoke about the future. We spoke about an idea as if the idea was tangible and real today. And then every day we marched forward as if the idea was real and tangible. And Kim had the vision to stay the course when there was no reason whatsoever to stay the course. She could see the end. And Tom, we say that about Kim, but let me tell you what, you might have been behind her, but it was a quarter step behind her.
Yeah.
So, we've all jumped in this, and I will tell you something. Yes, today it takes a little bit less vision because we actually ship clothes and we actually pay commissions, but in a way, it takes just as much vision today to say, oh, but guess what? Next year at this time, here's where I believe we're going to be. That takes the same heart and the same mind, and it rewards you the same way it does. So
yes,
I know we're on this Zoom with a ton of people with vision. I want you all to know I love you. I believe in each one of you. I don't take lightly one bit that you're on this call. You have children, you have family, you have people counting on you. There's a lot of other places you could spend your time on in this world. And for some crazy reason, here we are together all at once, chasing the same thing. I don't take it lightly. It's a beautiful mandate that gets me up in the morning and puts me to bed at night. And I want you to know I love each one of you, and I honor you, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. And for that reason, big group hug. And
group
I'm going to
hug.
go out there and do all in my power to drive your dreams.
Mm,
So anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you.
Here's what I want all of you to do. Number one, if whoever makes your heart pound a little bit nervous to go reach out to for Savvi, that like Christy Belliston was for Kim, that's who you start with. This is really big. People's lives are being changed. People are winning. There's a big heart and a big mission and vision, which you heard tonight. And there's so much more behind the scenes that you need to go out there and connect with people. And preferably during the pre-launch for sure. Now that we've extended the bonuses and the value, you want to come in for the top pack if you can for the $9.99. But no matter what you do what's appropriate for your family, but don't miss this. I almost weep for friends or people that didn't see it in the beginning or had one little challenge and dropped off the train, which I feel so bad because the train is moving and people are winning. And I want that to be you. And I want that to be the people that you care about. And together we're going to change a lot of people's lives and we're going to change the industry and what we're doing. And it's going to be because of a lot of us coming together, starting with you, Ken. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks.
And as we're wrapping up in the Facebook group, what did you like most? Please go in the Facebook group and in the comments. What did you like most about this vision casting call? Okay, that's a wrap, Ken. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, everyone. Love you guys. Appreciate you all.
God bless.
Okay, till we meet again.
Have an incredible week. Today is day one. Go out there and share it with people that you care about. We love you. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you. Bye.
I'm going to unmute if you guys want to say goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye, Felicia. Unmute, by the way, if you guys want to say goodbye. I wish.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye,
Ken.
Bye,
Bye,
Ken.
Bye, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
You
Hi,
all.
Brianna.
Thanks,
Colton.
Ken.
So much.
Thanks,
Tom.
Tom.
Tomasulo, you're amazing, Shannon. It's your time.
Hi,
Angela.
Tom.
Hey, Robert. Did I hear Robert Ratnati's on there?
You did hear me.
What up, champion?
Ah.
Look at you. You got your Malibu shirt on.
Actually, I don't have anything on.
Robert, show everybody your view that way. Come on, show us.
That is awesome.
He's neighbors to, who's your neighbor? What's his name, that dude, the comedian
Which
guy?
one? Adam Sandler?
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler's neighbor, everybody, right there.
He's thinking about it with his daughters.
Congratulations on your success, Robert. We're so proud of you and your leadership, brother.
Thanks.
Thanks, Robert.
Love you, Robert.
Love y'all.
Yeah, Kenneth, good
Come to Malibu, everyone.
Great to see you, Kenna.
Is that an open invitation, Robert?
Yes, it is.
Don't ask Robert. He would have hundreds of you all out there.
I would. Come on over
Good.
anytime.
We're going to do retreats in Malibu at Robert's house.
Yeah.
Yay.
Maybe this weekend, right, Kenna?
Yes, I'm there.
I got to get back to you on that, Robert. I got your message, by the way. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you guys. Thank you so
Love y'all.
much.
Hi, Amy White.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
A lot of this wouldn't be here without you, girl, and your husband. Amazing, amazing family. Hi, Lisa. Yes, Lisa. Lisa's a culprit of this movement, big time. All right. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
God bless you.